Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back again to talk with you about the week's most interesting news stories for the week of March 24th, 2026 here on News AF.
If the story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF. If the same old news makes you bored to death, it's time for some News AF. Actual, factual news.
Yes, that's right. We are back again for News AF. Everybody's back here together for News AF. And here with us, he is Pickleball's top influencer. And we're going to find out, why does he have a hat that says 0 on it? It's Tyson Apostol. Tyson, how are you?
I'm great. This is a surf brand. I think it says 0 degrees north, which is what, the equator?
Interesting.
So I think it's just a place where people probably surf. I just like it because it's nylon and it's crunchy and soft and
crunchy.
Hear it, yeah.
Good crunchy hat.
And it's also unstructured, so it doesn't have like a rigid
Like this
crown in it.
podcast.
Yes, exactly like this podcast. Everything I do is unstructured. And yeah, back from the Big Apple, went for a visit for a week, took the family.
What'd
That's
you
where
do?
we were for spring break. We did everything. List it, and we did it. We saw Wicked. We went to Eloise' tea party. We went to American Girl doll store. We went to FAO Schwartz. We went to a Rangers hockey game. We went to Serendipity.
Wow, dude.
Wow.
By the way, Tyson, New York is
Light Diner.
New York is 40 degrees north. So maybe get a hat that says that.
I didn't wear this hat in New York.
Yeah. Well,
but
it sounds like a lot of work with 2 kids to go to all
We went
that.
to the Statue
exhausted.
of Liberty. We went to Ellis Island. We went to the top of the Empire State Building.
Have you come back from the trip like when Danny does a family trip more energized and really just riding high?
No.
You're exhausted.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fun because Bergen's in competition swim, and she's not allowed to miss many practices. So we had to schedule a time where we could be gone and miss the least amount of practices.
Yeah.
So we had her practice Saturday morning, then we drove to the airport, flew to New York, and then we came home Thursday morning so that she could be at practice Thursday afternoon. So we only missed 1 practice. Because if you miss 2 practices, you have to do makeups.
Yeah, the merits.
All right.
So that was good. Yeah.
Here with us, a man who has a hat that, I don't know, is it crunchy? Is that what you used to describe?
It's not
your hat?
crunchy.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a crunchy hat.
It's
I could check
defective.
all.
Yeah.
I could check all my hats. I bet I have 0 degrees crunchy hats.
Why?
I don't even
Danny
know
Bryson.
what you.
Do you need a crunchy hat?
I mean, does it actually crunch as you squeeze it? Like, or is it just crunchy because it's chill? Because crunchy is a way to describe chill.
It's a good ASMR hat.
Yeah, that did sound nice. I
All
actually
right.
felt really relaxed.
For the next 45 minutes?
This is all we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So not spring break here yet, although the
When?
temperatures would indicate otherwise.
It's warm. It got hot.
Oh, so hot. Second week
Dude.
in April
Yeah.
is our spring break.
Listen to what we got going on. We left Arizona. It was like 90 degrees, which is unseasonably hot. We go to New York. It's like the first day is like 55 degrees. And then the last day there was like 40 degrees.
Okay.
Then we come home to like 105 degree
Oh,
temperatures.
no. Is that really what it was?
Yeah. It's like 20 to 25 degrees above the seasonal average.
Yeah.
Which
Already
is crazy.
cooking eggs on dashboards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, that's horrible.
I know. So, but they say, and I don't know who is they, that if it's this hot this early, then we've got some good summer rains coming in.
Oh, yes.
okay.
I love those people. Those are the same people that write the Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah, the farmer, they still have the farmers.
They're
They're
like,
like, it's been the
judging-
most trusted source of weather for 100
Judging by
years.
the acorn harvest I can tell you right now that the monsoons will be exquisite.
Yes, exactly. So,
We all
I love
they-
those forecasts.
yeah. Did you hear about the summer rains, Rob? You going to get some of those since it's so hot where you
Yeah,
are?
I didn't hear too much about the rains. I did hear so much about how it's so hot on the West Coast that there's something that they feel like. But I had heard like, oh, it's going to be a really bad summer because if it's this hot now. But I do think that there is a little bit of a thought to like, well, it can't keep up for this. If it's like, it's basically going to be, it's wasting it all its energy now.
All the heat.
These harebrained theories.
And it's like, okay, well, he's having a tantrum now, but he's going to be asleep by 7 o'clock. He can't keep it
I
up.
love it.
Except for that the days get longer, so the exposure to the sun is still ramping up. So I don't know, but it is, I think in a week or so we are going to drop back down into the averages for this time of year. I also saw that new movie with Ryan Gosling.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Project Hail Mary.
Hail Mary.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's good. Is it funny? I heard it was funny.
It is funny.
Yeah.
It's funny because he's teaching an alien how to communicate with him.
Yeah.
So the alien gets some sayings wrong or
good
like
for the
it's
kids.
very
We
blunt.
can take the kids.
You could, yeah, it's PG-13, but we saw it and we're like, we should take the kids to this. It's very funny.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If it's PG-13, but it's just like they say some bad words, that's okay. It's like, but if there's nudity, that's where we draw the line.
Or extreme violence or conversations around adult topics.
Adult topics, yes.
Yeah, there should be like a different delineation of like, I feel like that you have PG-13 or sort of like, but it's sort of like, okay, but then there's kind of like nudity and sex or bad words.
Oh,
like,
well,
I've heard all the bad words.
Speaking of movies, Tyson recommended The Suburbs, right?
The Burbs.
The Burbs. Yeah, sorry, The Burbs. So I watched that with my kids.
I did too recently.
Who you watch it with totally makes or breaks whether or not you think it's okay for a kid, because my 13-year-old boy, when that chick Bonnie first shows up, we're like, oh, the sexy neighbor married to the older man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh, Tyson wouldn't even think about this because he has 2 daughters. But to the father with a 13-year-old, you're like, oh wow, that chick. I mean, I don't know. It's just like it's different. The rating is so different depending on how old your kids are.
Yeah.
Are they boys? Are they girls?
Okay.
It's just, it could get very confusing. I say we stick with what we have as a rating system and just talk to people who've already gone. That's like your safest bet.
Well, sometimes they put why it's rated the way it's rated.
Yeah, you can find people who break it down.
This could be a good use for AI of like, hey, I have a 13-year-old boy. Is this okay for this movie?
Yeah.
What did you think of The Burbs with your kids?
You know what? My kids were watching it. They were paying closer attention to it. I said, hey, Tyson likes this movie. And I just put it on. But I was mostly on my phone. I have to be perfectly honest.
Okay. Yeah.
But I thought Tom Hanks was great in that movie. He's great.
Yeah. And his neighbor best friend is also good.
By the way, should not be his best friend. That guy is so obnoxious, so persistent. That he was driving me crazy. Even my kids were like, he needs to stop hanging out with that guy.
But the old guy who is married to the girl that goes out in her bikini to do the yard work, he's also hilarious. And he is Laura
Dern's
dad.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah. Mr.
Dern.
Yeah.
And he's so good in that movie.
He is good in that movie. I don't know about anything else, but yeah, it was a good movie. I liked it. I just had a moment where I'm like, is this okay for my 13-year-old? I mean, he probably sees way
But
worse.
you didn't mind it. You didn't mind any of the murdery stuff and the bones in the trunk.
No,
that's all fine.
That's all. It's all pretty glorious.
The talk of serial killing and stuff is
that's fine. Murder.
But don't show a nipple, okay?
Well, there wasn't. It was just
we're just in general.
Yeah.
In general. That's the one thing. That's the red line. Okay. All right. So let's get into all of the stories going on here in our world. And it's spring break. We're talking about people going on vacation. But if you're headed to the Bahamas, be careful because we've got a new story out about some Bahamas sharks. And they analyzed the blood in 85 sharks near the Bahamas. and they were testing for all sorts of various legal and illegal drugs. Boy, the spring breaks are getting too crazy when even the sharks are doing all sorts of drugs and illicit compounds.
They're testing positive.
I love these stories.
Okay. Number one contaminant in the sharks, caffeine. The sharks are hopped up on caffeine. Make it make sense.
Now with Red Bull. Yeah.
And what is the percent? You know how they say that a shark can detect like 1/1,000,000th particle of blood, in a drop of whatever in the
it
ocean.
Can detect caffeine too.
Caffeine and drugs, and it's just like is drawn to it. I need to know right now, Rob, how many are on bath salts? Because a shark on bath salts to me is the most terrifying proposition out there.
Almost none, it seems like. That there are really a lot of caffeine. That's the most common contaminant. And then a lot of the over-the-counter and anti-inflammatory painkillers like Tylenol and ibuprofen. So they're hopped up on caffeine, Tylenol, ibuprofen, and then they found in one case cocaine.
Oh, movie, an upcoming
Cocaine Shark
movie. Yeah, Cocaine Shark.
But listen to this, Rob. Do we have a control experiment? Because maybe those things are naturally occurring in sharks.
Is caffeine and Tylenol naturally occurring in the sharks?
Yeah, maybe. That's what I'm saying.
No, they're saying that they think it has to do, it's all human related.
Can you imagine a shark is just chewing on a big packet of cocaine that fell off of a drug runner's boat, and you just have a high shark out there? That's a terrifying idea because they already like gnawing on stuff.
They only found one though.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, a shark on painkillers, like ibuprofen, that's not terrifying. Caffeine, maybe a little bit.
A little bit, because they're going to be going faster. But they're saying that the issue here is more about the pollution that's getting into the ocean. And so it says more about the people that are there. They are hopped up on the caffeine and the Tylenol and the ibuprofen, and it's the human waste that's getting into the water that's impacting the sharks.
Yeah.
It could be worse. It might even be worse if that's all they're finding. I mean, we could really be putting lots of great stuff into there, like red dye,
like what, Danny?
Yellow 512. If this is what they were finding in mass quantities, mercury, Super Bowl T-shirts that didn't make it to market because the team lost. I mean, cocaine, caffeine, and ibuprofen. That seems pretty normal.
Yeah,
compared to
seems like the sharks are a bit of a mirror that we're holding back up to. Here's what the people are doing, and then we have to look at the sharks and see, like, oh yeah, actually, it's the people that are getting these things.
They do say that when a measure of the health of the ecosystem, you can just look at the sharks and
look to the sharks.
What about like sewer rats? Have we ever tested sewer rats to see what they've got in their system?
A lot of pizza.
They definitely have drugs, right? Now we have rats that are on bath salts and cocaine.
That a lot of the medications that people take don't fully digest, or they go through your system, and you do also spill.
Also, this is something else. Just one last comment on this. Should the animals become addicted to things like caffeine or cocaine, then I would say it's a warning not to go into the water with caffeine or cocaine on you, because that'll only add to its desire to chomp down on you if they're like in withdrawals, like a shark that needs caffeine now. And you're sitting there holding a Red Bull in the shallows.
Yeah.
Just a warning.
Be careful.
Yeah. Don't make yourself, a
bigger target.
Yeah. A bigger target, a big caffeinated target.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't take your Starbucks out into the ocean, because those sharks, once they're hooked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know about addiction in sharks. We haven't studied that nearly enough.
Yeah.
So,
we haven't.
Not yet. Okay. All right. Well, we're talking about Tyson went on spring break and the Bahamas, but these other spring break stories, Danny, have you been following all of the spring break carnage that's been going on here in the US?
Yeah, I actually do follow it as like a side story to all the other stories.
Yeah.
And it just seems like absolute madness. Now, let's be clear that they're picking out one or two stories out of probably hundreds and hundreds of happy stories, right? So we're only
So many
skimming
happy
off.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many happy stories where, people were dancing and having fun and nothing terrible happened. But there
Yeah.
are lots of stories where it's just absolute just craziness taking place.
I saw some video of spring break in Houston where people were just like partying at like a gas station. There's like, because there's no beach in Houston, that people
Yeah.
are but they all went there and they're all being crazy and like partying in cars and it's out of control. And then this is a story about spring break in Florida where authorities
Well,
are
always.
cracking down on too much twerking at beach parties.
Too much? What
Too
is the
much.
metric?
Yeah. I don't know what the metric is. I think it's the sort of like the definition of insanity the definition of pornography of that. You'll know it when you see it. And so a little
Okay.
twerking is fine, but too much twerking, that it's a big problem. And
Do they have a
Panama City Beach,
twerkometer that like gauges when they've crossed the line
it
from
might be an
appropriate?
AI thing that they have to like
Okay.
upload the video and they could tell if it's too much twerking. Panama City Beach. I remember in college, right after I graduated, a bunch of my friends, they went to Panama City and they had crazy stories.
Where's
and
that?
It's down in Florida. I'm not sure. Is it the Panhandle? Where's Panama
I think
City?
it's a panhandle. I swear I've looked this up. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. That they are having too much twerking. They've enforced an 8 p.m. curfew, and they're saying that the police are trying to crack down. There's just way too much twerking happening.
When you say too much twerking, I really need to know what is the limit. Like,
And
what
is it against the law? Like there's some things I'm not. Like, how do they crack down? They're
Let
like,
me
you're
see.
twerking too. Excuse me, sir, you're twerking too much.
Yeah, or ma'am.
Yeah.
Excuse
Or
me,
ma'am.
ma'am. You're
So
twerking
this
too
is
much.
from the Daily Star. So take it for
reputable.
for what
Yeah,
it's
very
worth.
reputable.
What they say is that spring break in the U.S. is in full swing, with rowdy students from all across the country flocking to some of the most popular beaches to wreak havoc and party like mad. But cops with paintball guns and pepper spray reportedly stormed Panama City Beach in Florida last weekend to put a stop to wild twerking. A Florida Fish and Wildlife officer was heard shouting at a group of youngsters shaking their bums, because it's a British thing. No
Yep.
twerking.
But air humping is okay. When you're like, yeah, and you're, that movement you do.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Tyson.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Sounds like they haven't
Didn't
put
he
a
do
ban
the
on
suck
that.
it thing?
Yeah.
No, that was Degeneration X.
Oh, Degeneration X.
Stone Cold will give you double middle fingers, but he would drink a lot of beer, which they also do on spring break.
Yeah.
He would just like he would drink beer like an idiot.
Sounds like a real party.
He would
guy.
never just like have a
cold sip. Yeah. Just dump it all over
much
himself.
twerking.
Very cool.
I think that twerking must be like a gateway to other criminal activities or something, or some kind of sign that things are about to get out of hand when everyone's twerking in unison.
I think this is a thing that happened once, and the Fish and Game guy yelled at somebody, and now it's a story.
By the way, the Fish and Game cop.
Yeah, is he in charge of this?
He's going to be the one that's like, yeah, he's not gonna let anyone out of it. You know what I mean? Like, he's by the letter of the law kind of guy, it seems like.
Yeah. They're trying to crack down, but these people, they live in Panama City. You kind of know what you're expecting, but I think they're trying to take Panama City back.
They should
invent lost it to the spring breakers.
And like butt cheek handcuffs in order to stop the twerking.
Butt cheek handcuffs.
Yeah, because twerking involves butt cheeks, and if you just got those, I think that maybe you can crack down. Kind of like they have those things that seize up
Don't
wheels.
Say crack.
It's allow you to drive away. Something like one of those things that locks up the wheel.
Yeah.
And then,
oh yeah.
I don't understand this article. I'm with Tyson. This doesn't really make a ton of sense. I feel as if there's other things going on, but the person who wrote this thought, what's the most controversial thing that's taking place? And in his mind, it was twerking. It wasn't the drinking, the underage drinking, or the driving around recklessly on the beach. It's like the twerking will get the most clicks.
They said that the authorities there are, what we did was create a curfew and a campaign with the hashtag "Come Get Your Kids" to encourage parents to keep track of their unaccompanied minors. You think the parents are reading the hashtag "Come Get Your Kids"?
No, and they're like, "Oh, okay, yes, they're following
On our way.
They're following this account. That's the first step, and then also seeing the posts and then agreeing with it. Yeah, okay. We should go. Panama City police want me to go get my kids.
Should we do next year? Should we go live in Panama City to do News AF?
Oh, I don't know if I could do that.
With MTV? Oh, MTV probably isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
I don't want to be there.
This picture in the article is from the Panama City beach on March 14, 2012. So we're really,
that was a different time.
Like these people in this picture, they have kids at spring break now.
Yeah.
We really went deep into the stock footage.
They really don't have any other pictures. I mean, come on.
These are women dance on the beach on June 24th, 2020.
2020. Okay, this article is ridiculous. This is clickbait.
They got us.
They got us.
They got us with a clickbait.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
Okay.
But now we have a real story.
Okay. Yeah, we have a real story. Okay. People send a lot of emails. Tyson, are people ever telling you in their email that they're going to circle back to you?
Not often, but I do know that saying.
Yeah. So here's a study that says that people who believe that they are leveraging cross-functional synergies and circling back are people who actually are often bad at their jobs.
What was that first one?
Circle back and synergize, leveraging cross-functional synergies.
Cross-functional synergy? If someone said that to me, I would just walk away.
You don't want to
even sound real.
You don't want to synergize cross-functionally?
I don't know. When was the last time I synergized? I don't know if I've synergized for a while.
You might be synergizing without even.
Are we synergizing right now? All three of us?
Probably.
We're usually synergized.
We're crossing the streams and synergizing.
Yeah.
Whatever that saying was. I believe this article. So I didn't even need this article to know that.
Yeah. So what was done here was a study of 1,000 working adults, and participants were shown a mix of genuine corporate statements and nonsense lines generated by what researchers were calling a corporate BS detector.
Yeah, because you will like, oh, I don't really have an answer, and I did no work on the thing they're asking, and I was supposed to, so I'm going to say these phrases that make it sound like I'm deep in the thick of the corporation.
Yeah. And I think the better you are at saying like sort of the confusing corporate speak, maybe the worse you are at the job.
Yeah, because you're not giving an answer. You're just stalling and spinning your wheels. The funny thing is that none of us really work in an environment where these terms are used on a daily basis. So I know there's people out there listening right now who are probably nodding their head violently in agreement that these words are totally ridiculous.
They might be twerking.
Overused. Yeah, they could be twerking in agreement
so violently that they're twerking.
Yeah, twerking in agreement.
Be careful about these terms. If you're in Panama City.
Whenever we talk about stuff like this, I always wish that I had more insight into corporate America, because I think stuff like this is just always overused. It probably would be hilarious. And also,
couldn't you talk to your dad or any one of your dozen brothers?
I listened to my dad when he was on business calls, and I never heard him use terms like that.
He's a straight shooter.
He is a straight shooter for sure.
That's how you get stuff done. But they said that people who were high scorers on the jargon scale were more likely to view bosses who use jargon as charismatic or inspiring leaders, and felt more motivated by vague corporate messaging.
Oh, at least they're motivated by something, that's good.
Those were their words. Those were their words. We're motivated by vague corporate.
Yes. Vague corporate messaging, they found to be very inspiring.
Yes.
I actually like that, because that means that those people are where they belong, and that they can be happy in an environment most other people couldn't tolerate.
Yeah. Well, I think that the jargon is a little bit of a Rorschach test of that you can see whatever you want in the jargon.
Mhm.
So by being like intentionally vague like that,
I like that,
lets
yeah.
everybody just assume the best of what they want it to be. So here's some examples of jargon that they highlighted. Okay. We mentioned leveraging cross-functional synergies.
Yeah.
What about synergizing scalable paradigms?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You like that one, Danny?
Yes.
Oh, these are all so great.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be scalable, because if they're not scalable, then you can't, there's no way to even comprehend.
You want to actualize a renewed level of cradle to grave credentialing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am going to offer a defense to those who
Yes.
use these terms. I think that if, Rob, you were to go in and work in an office where people use these things all the time, I think you would inadvertently find yourself using these terms as well. That doesn't mean you appreciate them. I just think that if you got plugged in to a big corporation where they used speech like this all the time, you would just end up using it.
When I worked at a ski resort, I adopted their vocabulary.
That's what I mean. Yeah. It's just, I think
Bluebird
naturally
mornings, death cookies, gnar,
those are cool.
fresh
Those are
pow,
cool.
virgin pow.
And then you could pressure test a renewed level of adaptive coherence.
Yeah.
What the?
Mhm.
What does that mean? Wait, say it again. Pressure test.
Pressure testing a renewed level of adaptive coherence. I think that I can translate this one. So when you pressure test, it's sort of like, okay, you want to see how far the renewed level of people's willing to change and stay coherent.
Yes, thank you, Rob.
You read it to me again and I'll define it.
Pressure test a renewed level of adaptive coherence.
Someone's so you're testing under a lot of force,
a new level,
to see how, if someone can adapt to a new type of understanding rather than be stuck in their old belief system. Can we change their belief system? And what will it do to them? Will their head explode?
Automatically, when you say these phrases, I just turn off.
I would literally read that. Like, let's say I was in a corporation, I'm brand new to the corporation, and I get an email like this. My response literally would be understood. I'd be like, yes, I totally understand that.
I get it.
Let's go ahead and circle back, or I'll circle back with you. One of us is going to circle back.
We're all circling back.
If we're always circling back, it's just a giant circle.
That's the whole thing, dude.
That's awesome.
That's the synergistic.
That's where
that's everyone's synergizing.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, a perfect circle.
That's what Tyson's hat.
Yeah.
Yes. What it comes back to.
0 degrees.
Oh, dude.
0
that
degrees.
Is amazing. Circling back until the synergy gets to a point where everyone is
synergistic coherence. We tested the levels.
Yeah. You know, the atom accelerator in Switzerland.
The atom smashing. Corporate atom smashing.
Yeah. Circling back.
That's
faster
so
and
cool.
faster.
Okay. So here's the story of the tale of a woman who was removed from a Frontier Airlines flight recently for not listening. March 16th, this happened, where a woman got removed from the flight because she wasn't listening. And when you fly Frontier, you better listen. The only problem is this woman was deaf.
Ooh.
That's an embarrassing moment for this airline. Also, nobody listens. That's crazy that they would actually enforce this and then unfortunately enforce this rule. The one person who had an excuse not to be listening.
Okay.
If they come to me on the airline and they're like, everybody listen up, that's my cue to not.
Look at my phone,
I've-
put in my headphones.
Yep, exactly. I've listened to this speech a million trillion times.
And I'm not going to pretend like there's any chance that when we hit the water at 500 miles an hour, I'll have
you're
time
gonna-
to get my life vest
Life
out
jacket on.
and then inflate it manually by blowing into the small little
Straw.
hose. I mean, straw. Yes. It's like, come on, let's not play these games. All right.
Okay. Now, there's two sides to every story. And
Of
so
course.
let's circle back to what the
Yes.
pressure test ultimately was.
See what the synergy.
Yeah.
Because Frontier Airlines says, no, it wasn't that she wasn't listening. It's that she was boarding with an open container of alcohol and rapidly consumed it before handing it over. That was the issue.
Yeah, that does sound
Mhm.
like they weren't synergizing.
Yeah. So
No.
let's circle back to the open container.
Mhm.
Is that actually a rule? You can't board with an open container?
You can't bring your own alcohol on board
Well,
to consume.
okay. So even the
Yes.
alcohol you buy in the airport can't
You
be
You
cannot.
can bring it, you can't open it and like just be like, I think that too much like Panama City type shenanigans, I think, have happened on airplanes because of that.
Yeah.
Alcohol
Yeah.
is the source of most airplane confrontation and
Sure.
Sometimes it's
Big problem.
feces.
Yeah, but feces related to consumption of alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, the Venn diagram is almost
Yeah.
just
Sometimes
Oh, yeah.
there is a synergistic coherence between the two.
Yep. Okay. That makes sense.
For sure.
And then the pressure test.
By the way,
Nah.
her alcohol
Press
drink
did not hold.
her drink was probably like $30. So her consuming it really quickly
Mhm.
There's
does
a
make
cost of
sense.
4 Frontier Airlines round trip
Yeah.
tickets.
Yeah, so I
yeah.
kind of get that.
Danny, I don't get the sense she had a cocktail. I get the sense that it was like a open container of like a bottle.
Tall boy.
Rum.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So
either
her
way.
lawyers are saying that part is fake news. That didn't happen.
Wow.
She
Oh,
was
boy.
innocently picked on by Frontier Airlines because she was deaf.
The people who win in this situation, the lawyers,
Yeah.
they are the ones that
Will we ever find out? Will we ever find out if we'll never find out?
No,
We'll never
because
find
it's-
out.
it's-
Yeah.
this will fade to the background of all the cocaine shark stories. This is just be buried under a pile of those.
A little blip.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh.
Here, let me see. You know, there is a video of this. You want to see if I can play the video?
Does it show the open container? Because that's the video we need.
No, she probably is not going to put that part into.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the only thing that is really going to be
Okay.
argued about.
Let me see if I can play this from Newsweek. Okay.
It's on my ticket. For a hearing. It's on her ticket. 2 days or however long it takes. No, she's literally. But
I don't know.
I can't hear much, but I can sense the confrontation. And it's just, if you were on that flight, that's when you put in your headphones and put your head down and just wait for it to all be over.
Yeah, I think that sometimes maybe like the flight attendant was already making an example out of this person, and then when it was like, hey, she's deaf, it's like, well, no, we're not talking about that. I've already the flight attendant can't sheepishly just go back to like, oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Reset. Let's circle back to this.
Like that
we're in
from
the
the
air.
record.
At 10,000 feet, let's synergize with
Let's circle back.
Yeah.
Rachel has a story of Frontier Airlines.
Yes.
So she had her, I think Frontier, they charge for overhead bin space, do they? Whatever she had, she had like one extra bag, just like a little handbag or something. But her friend she was traveling with didn't have one. So she got up, and the flight attendant, the people putting her on the plane were like, you have an extra bag, you have to check one. And she's like, oh, okay. So she walked away, handed the bag to her friend, came back. They wouldn't let her on the plane, and they ended up not letting Rachel on the plane.
Wow.
Wow,
even though her
these people are
friends,
letter of the law people.
well, they're vindictive and angry, and they just like, that's what it sounded like to me. They were like, "Oh, you found a workaround? No, you didn't. Well, now you're missing your flight."
Yeah.
And they literally kept her off the plane and closed the gate and all of it.
You know, I feel like that back, and I don't want to, hopefully I'm not sounding too much like an old guy, but it used to be that the flight attendant, their job was to sort of like give you like a pleasant experience on the plane. But it seems like a lot of these stories are now about how like the flight attendant, this is like the airplane is the one domain that they have sort of absolute power. And they
You're in
wield
my
it.
world.
It's a
As
little
the door
bit.
shuts.
It's become a little like the Stanford prison experiment, where it's like, hey, I'm the captain now. You know.
I'm going to break off here for a moment from
Okay,
that
where are we
opinion,
going?
and I sympathize with these people who have to work with passengers. They're not necessarily getting paid top dollar. The people who are flying are paying top dollar. It's just a terrible situation. And I always look at the stewards who are going up and down the aisle, dealing with the most ridiculous requests, trying to accommodate all these people who are grumpy because they've been jammed into a seat that's too small and probably overpriced. And I have a little bit of sympathy. I mean, in Rachel's case, I don't know what to say. Who knows what kind of day they had, like 10 hours of just fighting customers all day long, watching people try to sneak in open containers onto the flight. I mean, I can't even imagine. That's not a job for me. That I would never, ever sign up for it. But these people that do sign up for it, I do have a little bit of sympathy for. And also, for the most part, during most of my flights, I do have a pleasant experience, a surprisingly good experience with the people who work on the airplane. More often than not. But whenever I see a story like this, I just think, what kind of a day has that employee for the airline been having? It's just not great for anyone. So there's my middle ground take on the whole situation.
Yeah, I agree for the most part, Danny. Like, you get on, everybody's pretty friendly. You're friendly back to them. That's how it works. You be friendly. I won't take a drink if I'm not thirsty. I won't take a snack if I'm not hungry. I forego whatever services that'll make their job a little easier. And once in a while, you'll just come across one. But you can also tell the difference between it being a bad day for that person or a habitual dick.
Yeah.
And,
a habitual dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you go to every single fast food restaurant, and then at the end of it, they're like, I'm going to turn the thing around. It's going to ask you one question. And the question is never like, how are you? It's always, how much money do you want to tip me? And I feel like that, if anything, maybe we should normalize like tipping the flight attendants of like,
this is insane that you're suggesting this in this tipping climate, Rob.
If you want to, I feel like that maybe like you are
you're gonna tip anybody.
If you're gonna tip anybody, Danny, like the guy who made the sandwich, like what did he even do? He just did his job. Like,
I don't tip that guy.
If the flight attendant was like, you don't have to, but like, if there was like some incentive for the flight attendants, like maybe that would improve things.
Okay, I could see that.
If there's any amount of interaction, I tip. And I hate it because you're like, but also it's like, well, he was friendly.
But not a flight attendant.
But I have tipped flight attendants before.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a classy dude.
You just give them like $5 or something, or $10. I think I gave him 10.
Yeah, but now it's like all cashless on the plane.
Yeah.
Okay, so I never get anything that like requires a transaction. Like I'm not drinking on the plane.
Rob, what you're recommending is that on the screen, on the back of the seat in front of you, you can see a picture maybe of all of the people working on the flight.
Everybody.
And you can click on the one or two that you thought performed well, and you can give them a small tip.
Oh my gosh.
If not that, then what if how about this, Danny? Okay. Is there a middle ground of like, could I give them 5 stars or 1 star? Like,
yes,
like an Uber driver.
That. Yeah. Performance report.
Like, how did we do today?
Yeah.
And then the airline could give them a raise, give them a tip.
Yeah, the airline should, because they're already nickel and diming us for every absolute thing, and they should be the ones.
We have a performance bonus, and that we will like reward our highest performing flight attendants and maybe this flight attendant's like, hey, Rob, screw you. Like I'm deleting my Patreon after this. But I want to see the good ones rewarded.
And there are a lot of good ones.
A little bit of a hot stove for somebody who's just like, you know what? I'm having a bad day. I'm going to make everybody miserable today.
Yeah, maybe next time Rachel can give the bag to her friend and get on that flight if this system of Rob's is implemented.
I do believe that, I think in a tipping culture, it does encourage people to be on their best behavior.
I like the performance. Because again, the airline is already taking every dollar from us. I believe that they should be the one that reward them if they're getting a lot of 5 stars. So I like that idea, Rob.
What's some kind of a system? Look, I'm not allowed to create any systems within the confines of my own house. Like my wife doesn't let me do these types of things. So I just want to then, if there's a way to
make the world better,
make the world better, I'm not allowed to do it at my house.
Yeah.
So I need to do it somewhere. I have ideas. I can't do them here. I'm not allowed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But outside of my house, I feel like I have a little bit more say.
Yeah. I'd like to see this implemented. It'd be interesting.
My wife would never go for this here. Like, hey, why don't we reward the kids for good behavior?
Inside the bathroom. Did you find the bathroom to be clean today? Smiley face, no face, frowny face. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's get this going.
You can't unlock the bathroom till you push one of the faces.
And I'll be like, what if the kids, like, what if they don't do what we tell them to, what if they don't get like extra things?
That would never work.
That's they've been good. Come on.
The bar is so low with kids sometimes that it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, just wash that talkie dust off your fingers and I'll give you ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty low.
We've got, say, some new scientific research to talk about.
Science.
Okay. Back in my own stomping grounds, the Amazon rainforest in Manaus, Brazil, some scientists did some experiments on the clay towers of the architect cicadas. And what they did was that they decided to put condoms over the towers that the cicadas were building.
I didn't even know cicadas build towers.
Yeah, they do. I didn't see them there. And I certainly didn't put any of the condoms that they gave us on them if I saw them.
But these are
check this out.
Boy, yeah, look at that.
Look at this improvised condom usage.
That's a cicada tower.
And we learned, yes, a cicada tower. The cicadas built these towers, and somebody said, let's put a condom on it.
Yeah. Why not, dude?
Guys, like, I've got one in my pocket. It's going to expire.
I've got an idea. I have a really good idea.
To the man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail, said the man with a condom.
What was the scientific reason behind this?
And what did we learn?
Yeah, what did we learn?
What did they learn? What they found was that researchers improvised by putting the condom, and they had 40 of them. I'm not sure.
Well, real party animals.
Yeah. They had over the tower openings, and they sealed the edges with plastic film, and they created respiratory stress underground. The condoms inflated from trapped carbon dioxide.
Wow.
And what they found was that the next day, cicadas rebuilt the towers somewhere else.
Oh, okay. So they're making the cicadas do
so they need to
work.
breathe. So basically what they were doing is the cicadas have to breathe. Okay, so they're not too different from a lot of other organisms.
So I kind of see how this probably came about. What is the purpose of these towers? I don't know. Well, are they used for breathing? Let's see what happens when we wrap one with saran wrap. And then they did that. And then one day out in the field, they're like, oh, dude, I didn't bring saran wrap. And one guy's got like pulled out an entire billfold of like 40 condoms. Like, dude, I've got this covered, like literally. And then they just started using the condoms. And
so they built new ones. But then they found that when they unsealed them, that the cicadas built larger and more extensive towers.
Wow. They automatically learned to build.
They learned.
They're like, condoms only come in this size. We have to build them bigger than the modern condom.
What if they just built them in a different shape?
Oh, good idea. I like that.
Like a twerking butt.
How about
the tower? Maybe if it was like swaying back and forth, it could be a little bit more twerking.
Yeah.
Like an inverted pyramid or an upside down pyramid.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
upside down pyramid, or just have it be like 15 feet tall so that nobody can get up there.
Yeah. Okay. So this scientific experiment, though, all began as that they thought it would just be a funny joke to put the condom on the towers. But it just goes to show you how science can come from, the inspiration can come from all different
$98 million grant to go out. And they were just like, we got to do something with that money. So let's buy a 40-pack and get out in the jungle.
They're like, dude, never before have we had a research group with more Chads and Brads on the on the payroll. This is totally a bunch of bros.
Yeah, the towers also made less ants go on than having their nests on the ground.
Excellent. This has uncovered so many things.
Yeah. I mean, if they could leave the bottom unsealed, it could be good, like tarp from the rain.
Yeah.
Could they go out to something if they didn't seal the whole thing?
If they could learn, if they could learn to put the condoms on themselves.
Or just poke a breathing hole at the base.
No, that defeats the
It probably does, actually, because it's probably for floodwater or something that they even have that.
Oh, like a snorkel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about a hospital in Florida that's suing a patient who won't leave the hospital 5 months after they've been discharged. Are there squatter laws at the hospital?
The price of a hospital stay usually deters squatter. Anyone even thinking of staying in a hospital.
Yeah.
Plus the smell and your roommates. There's nothing inviting about a hospital stay.
Well, okay, this lawsuit came this month after a woman has been staying at the hospital for over 5 months, and that she's been discharged, but she's not leaving.
Wow. And the reason is, like, it could be because she doesn't think she's healed. Maybe she's like, no, I really still have these problems. I can't leave until these are resolved.
Yeah.
And they're like, get out of here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out if it's that she, the hospital decided she doesn't need the services.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if the woman feels like that she doesn't have anywhere else to go, or she needs more services.
They're not going to clean the room, right? They're just going to ignore her. 5 months. If I was a doctor, I'd find that extremely annoying, especially if there's other people who need that bed.
They can't just kick her out.
I guess they could.
I mean, if she stays long enough, eventually she'll catch a disease that keeps her there.
I mean, when we had Bergen, we went to the hospital and they put us in this giant luxury room that had like a full bed for me to sleep on. Then they found out we were going to be longer than they had anticipated. So they moved us to a teeny tiny little small room.
The broom closet.
Yeah. And I was like, shouldn't the people who stay here longer get the bigger room, and the people who are going to be shorter get they're like, no, that's not how it works. We try to keep everybody comfortable, but then if you're going to overstay, then.
If you're going to overstay.
Yeah. Just put her in a smaller and smaller room.
But shouldn't the hospital be using this woman in their commercials where it's like, hey,
so good, people want to live
we're
here.
Here from the Florida Synergistic Hospital. the Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare Facility. I'm trying to find the name of the actual hospital. And our hospital is so nice. Sometimes we have people who are done and they want to stay for 5 months longer. They won't leave. That's how nice our hospital is. Don't you want to be at a hospital that you'll never want to leave?
Yeah. That's us.
Put her in the commercial.
Yeah.
How old is she?
They don't. This might be a HIPAA thing. There's not a lot of details about the identity of the patient. Yes, the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital,
where patients never leave because
you'll never want to leave. Yeah, you can, but you won't want to.
Do you think when the hospital administrators have meetings about her, they just say, "We'll circle back to this problem.
We'll circle back
in the week."
We'll
and they've been doing that for 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an issue here. We're dealing with it. We're trying to leverage the cross-functional synergy that we when we said we were offering a renewed level of cradle to grave credentialing, this isn't what we meant.
Yeah.
She's synergy
pressure testing us hard.
Life sucker.
She is pressure testing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Her adaptive coherence is off the charts.
Did you write all these words down?
Yeah, I ridiculed.
I went back. Yeah,
I ridiculed this language earlier. This corporate language. Now I can see the value.
It helps.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Danny, are you ready to circle back to your bolt hole for today?
Guys, let's just circle and circle until we generate enough synergy to just get it done.
All right, here we go. The world famous Danny Bryson bolt hole.
Welcome to my bolt hole. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong.
Yeah.
Let's see. Guys, I've got paywalls.
Oh my God.
Remember when the internet was free, or at the very least, all they wanted was your information, and that was enough.
Your data.
Give you the article that you were looking for.
Yeah. No.
Okay, well, I'll go to this story here that I have lined up if I can get it to load. Let's see, paywall.
Beep boop bop boop beep boop.
I read this one. My Google feed will find one story, right, about a certain subject, and then it will lump together all the versions of that story below it. Does that make sense? So usually an article will come out in a reputable publication or source, and then all these other people will kind of like scavenge the article and write their own. And so this article popped up, and it actually popped up with a bunch of others about what it means, the way you walk. What does it mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
What does it tell us about you if you are a fast walker? Are you guys fast? Tyson, you were just in New York, and in New York, you're walking. What some of the fastest walkers are in New York? Are you walking fast? Okay.
Yes, I'm a fast walker. I'm the fastest walker you've ever seen.
Yeah,
Rachel gets annoyed with how fast
successful
I walk.
People. Yeah, you know where you're going, right?
Yes, so Rob is already, even without the research, kind of understands where this article is headed about fast walkers. Obviously, there's lots of different fast walkers, right? Maybe someone's walking fast because they have to get to the toilet. But in general, they like to have, people like to find out, what does this trait that I have tell me about myself? Or
I hit the ground running everywhere I go. And if you drop me off at the airport, boom, I'm gone. And Rachel,
to the annoyance of Rachel,
but also I'm annoyed by everybody. I'm like, why is not everybody walking as fast as me?
I feel the same way. I think that I also like to walk fast, and this article is part of a huge thing. Someone somewhere did research on the traits of people who walk fast, and these are 7 of those traits.
Let's see.
So you guys already hit 1, goal oriented. All right. Yeah. So these people, they have places to be and things to do. So that's the first one. High energy. Tyson, you wouldn't walk fast if you didn't have somewhere to go, or you weren't trying to make sure that you utilize all of your time.
Yeah, it's me trying to, but even utilizing my time, it's like at the airport, guess why I'm moving so fast? Just so I can go sit at the gate. Like,
yeah, because your goal is to get to that gate to make sure that it is where it says that it is. High energy, obviously. You can't walk quickly without some degree of energy. Impatient. Tyson already hit on this.
Yeah.
He gets walled up behind some slow walkers and he's mumbling under his breath.
Yeah.
Terrible things about these people. Your confidence. And that actually also makes sense because you have to be pretty confident to just stomp down a sidewalk. People look at you, think that guy knows where he's going. He's headed somewhere.
Yeah. He's going places.
This one also makes sense. Quick decision makers. It kind of, if you're walking quickly, you do have to make decisions fairly quickly. You can't just dither on a corner.
Dilly-dally.
Dilly-dally. Lots of good words we could use. Just sit there. Number 6, definitely agree with this. Punctual.
Yep.
I definitely like punctual people, and I try to be punctual myself. And I would guess that this is something speedwalkers have in common. Self-reliance, maybe I'm not sure how this ties in as much as the others.
Hey, when you're counting on yourself, you gotta move. You gotta keep it going.
That's
slow.
What they say.
Trust your instincts.
Yeah, forging one's own path without being slowed by others' pace is so self-reliance. So I walk quickly, and Tyson walks quickly. Sounds like Rob walks quickly, and I feel like this is why we synergize so completely on this podcast, because we share so many similar traits.
Well, let me do some more research and circle back.
But by the way, people who walk quickly are super annoying, I would guess, to people who don't walk quickly. Like Tyson pointed out with Rachel. Liz, if I was walking quickly, will be annoyed that I'm ditching people. Fast walker is an annoying person to everyone else. We are annoying everyone else with our fast walking. But to us, hey, we've got places to be.
Oh,
right?
Nothing better than a brisk walk through a crowded area by yourself, just like navigating without having to be concerned with who's trying to follow
Even if
you.
I don't know where I'm going, I'm still walking super fast to get to that place I don't know I'm headed to. So
I usually know where I'm going.
I'm talking about like the other day when I was in Geneva doing nothing. I was just like power walking in general directions just because I had time on my hands.
Yeah, you were just out seeing stuff. And the faster you move, the more stuff you get to see.
Yes, thank you, Tyson. That's exactly my philosophy. So add that to the list. So we're trying to maximize our time.
Correct.
So anyway, there you go.
Okay. Well, we have sufficiently maximized our time here today. And so why don't we talk about what's going to be the thumbnail for this episode of the podcast?
Can we do a bunch of people circling back while twerking at spring break?
Okay.
And synergizing. Just use all those corporate phrases and see what AI comes up with for them.
Sprinkle them in between the stories of twerking and sharks.
Okay. Okay, we need a bunch of spring breakers
circling back while twerking
and twerking. Spring breakers who are circling back while
on the beach while a bunch of sharks high on cocaine are
pounding Red Bulls.
Sharks are pounding Red Bulls.
Yeah.
In the water just off the beach. Nice. Oh. And then the other story we could use, I guess we could, no, I don't. We always use airplane stories. I feel like we have to. We've always got airplane stuff there. I kind of like this just as it is.
Okay, let's see what this looks like. Okay, Danny, what's coming up for you?
Oh, I might be headed off to the Great White North, Canada here, and the next little bit. Yes, they actually still have snow. Meanwhile, it's 85 degrees here. They're still getting some snow. I'm trying to make the most out of this very bleak winter, which people on the other eastern half of the country couldn't understand because they've been getting hammered nonstop. But over here, it's just so. Tyson's, are you really in the triple digits?
Yep.
I mean, that's just insane. Triple digits in March.
Yeah, it is insane. So today it's going to be, we're not in the triple digits anymore. It's about the high of 97.
It did cool down. Oh boy. So yeah, I'm going to hopefully Canada soon.
97 to 97 or 98 as the high the entire week.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
So what are you up to,
week,
Tyson, in that heat?
I'm going in to have a hernia looked at.
Okay.
Oh man, you okay?
Yeah. I'm okay. I've had it for a long time. I think it popped. It's in my belly button. And it popped when I lifted Bergen out of the crib like 8-9 years ago, whatever.
Wow.
And it's just makes it look like my belly button's an outie when it was an innie. And I can push it back in. And my doctor was always like, yeah, until it hurts or something, you don't need to worry about it. But it's been getting bigger. Doesn't hurt. But I'd rather just get it taken care of if I can now.
I have heard, and I'm sure you've heard, it's a pretty serious thing.
It's very painful recovery.
Yeah.
It's like 4 to 6 weeks of like not much physical activity and stuff. But I find myself playing with my belly button all the time. And I'm sure it's very weird to people. Like I will constantly be pushing my hernia back into my belly button as I'm moving throughout the day, in so much that my t-shirts have indents on them where I'm sticking my finger into my belly button.
Oh, you need those t-shirts with the little plug thing on the belly
the reverse plug thing, the TC tugger, but the TC pusher.
The TC.
We need the TC pusher or the PC pusher. And I did actually, full disclosure here, like we're all old dudes. They have these things where you can buy like these marbles, these glass marbles, and tape them into your belly button, and it kind of will hold the hernia inside you, but those weren't working very well. So I'm going to go see if they recommend that I can have the surgery or what.
Just more glass marbles.
No, they weren't holding it all the way in.
Maybe you weren't doing enough marbles, Tyson.
But also, yeah, I would like it fixed.
Yeah.
Because I am becoming more obsessive with making sure it's not popping out. But we'll see what they say today. So I have that, and my mom's in town. So that's it. My mom's visiting. Exciting. And I'm going to have a hernia looked at.
I love it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I got something for you to look at. Okay. We'll circle back to remember when we were looking at the thumbnail. Okay. All right. What do we think of this image from our spring breakers on the beach?
I'm in. I don't even need to see anymore.
Okay. I don't. Why are the sharks? I guess that's because
Red Bull has wings.
Yes. No, that's exactly what I was going to say. Because of their marketing.
There's a cicada there too.
Yeah. They built a Cicada condom
tower in the background. It's big enough. They've modified it so you can't get a condom over it.
Look at these people chanting "circle back."
Yeah. We need to circle back. Circling
back. One of the
twerking.
cops seems to have gotten stuck in some quicksand.
Yeah, 2 of them.
They're going down.
Well, quicksand was in the news here. Lots of quicksand appearing as the water recedes in some of these
but be careful.
Lakes and stuff. So yeah, quicksand's a real issue.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also said, I said, what would this look like if you put our faces on this, or like reacting to this for YouTube? And it did not understand the assignment. This was.
I think it kind of did.
This would be.
I don't know if I've ever made that face in my life. Rob looks absolutely out of his mind.
Apparently,
I have my tongue
YouTube
out.
Face.
I'm like,
these are YouTube faces.
And actually, these are YouTube faces.
Yeah. Or the other option is there was this, and this is now where we're like in some sort of like, this is like the meme of like the 3 guys that are on every podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know what they did here.
Jeez.
Wow. Also, before we get going further into Danny's week and Rob's week, every time I talk to the hernia surgical center, the lady keeps assuming I have hemorrhoids. And so I have to keep reminding her that I'm getting a belly button hernia looked at. And she's like, oh yeah. Cause I'm like, I can still like talk on calls and stuff after a day or two, like how pain. And she's like, no, you'll just have to sit on a donut pillow thing. And I was like, a donut pillow for a belly button hernia? And she's like, oh, no. So
that's the kind of hospital appointment where you want to write on your body, Tyson, near your
I have to circle
hole.
with black.
Yeah, circle your butthole and like do a red cross through it, not here, and then circle around your belly.
Good news, Mr. Apostol. We amputated your anus.
You'll never be able to have a
We're giving you
I never had one.
A prosthetic on your anus.
Yes.
Carbon. So make sure, Tyson, you draw on your body because this sounds like
that's important.
Future malpractice lawsuit in the making.
Yep. Okay. All right. And then, we were just podcasting away over here. The usual. Got so much going on with Survivor. Things are really heating up and everything else you know and love over on RHAP. All right. We'll be back with you again next week for more News AF. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
We did it, guys.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.